Hello, hello. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. Just let me know, do comment down below so that I should be knowing whether my voice is clear or not. Okay. Yeah. So I'm really sorry, guys. For the past few days, my health was not good. That was the main reason I was unable to conduct the live streams. Okay. But don't worry, now I'm back and we will be finishing out our Android development course, which we left behind, right? There are still a lot of things that we have to do in this part. Like here in this, we have created our project here. Most probably it will take about one or two videos, like this one, this video and the next video. And after this, our app will be completed. Then we will be focusing on some different kind of application, like music app or something like that. Okay. And talking about the video, I don't know why my camera was not working. So that's the reason I'm unable to on the camera. But never mind, I'm watching your guys' comment as well. So yeah, if you have any doubt and if you want to ask any sort of questions, do comment down and I'll be clearing that questions out. Okay. Now, talking about this code, you can see that we have created a portfolio application which was working. We have dark mode enabled and we have skill set. Okay. And education part was not created and also experience part was still there. We have done certification and all. What we are going to do, we are going to be learning about lists and all, advanced list functions. So what I'm going to do, we are going to be adding different elements where we can add lists items and different multiple things and all. So we will be creating that in this particular video, so stay tuned for that one. Okay, let me head over to whiteboard so that you guys can better see. Okay, so here you can see that we have created this part. Now in this, what I'm going to do over this contact page, we are going to be optimizing it, optimizing. Okay, we are going to optimize this particular code. Then inside contact page, what we have this part created, right? So what I'm going to do over here, we will be adding some margin here, margin over here, okay, in this part and here as well. And we will be adding a little gap in this section. Why? Because messages are bigger, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to add little gap. After that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be adding, I'm going to be adding three social media places over here. Okay. So like this. Here we will be adding three social media accounts where you can, comment down, connect with the people and all. Okay. So that we will be creating as well. Like here, one, two, and three. So we will be having three social media page here. Now, after this, what we are going to do in this experience part, what I have experience, so we can add GFG, the year, and different one year. Then you can add years over here, okay? For how many years we need, and the date as well, like that. So you can add different experience levels over here, so that it will be clear to you guys. Let me do one thing. Let me show you code. Let me hit run so that you guys will be knowing what exactly we are going to do. Okay. So here you can see that we have contact me. Inside contact me, you can see that our margin and the padding part has been completed. Okay. Here you can see we have added a little padding over here. And also you can easily see that we have added three social media accounts. Like here, Facebook, Instagram, and here I'll be adding LinkedIn instead of Google. Just to showcase now, we are just currently showing it Google. Okay. After this, what we are going to do, we are going to be checking out experience, and this is the experience. So work experience, mentor, Geeks for Geeks. Then we are having the title. Then what I have written the date, then Cisco virtual internship intern, then date, full stack developer, then similarly a basic date. So This is what we are going to be adding. And also there are education part. So inside this education, we will be following out a little, things. What I'm going to do in this, we have primary education. So I'll add primary education and secondary education. This is the basic orientation. You guys can modify it according to your own. Okay. So I'm just going to guide out that how can you implement this, how can you implement that. But the eventual part will be that you guys have to add your own code and do your own modifications. Okay. So yeah, let me check the comments. New gaming, hi, how it's going? I hope you're liking the video. Yeah, this was yeah. So continuing to the code, what we are going to do over here, we are going to be creating different sort of list. So in the education, we will be providing a basic education type, and in the experience over here, we will be adding uh, experience based on this list format. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's start coding. So let me open the sample page. Yeah. So this is what we have done so far. Let me minimize it so that you guys can see. Yeah. So this is what we have done so far in the video. This is contact page, skills, and we have, you know, different education as well. So we will be adding all these things now. Okay. Let's start. What firstly we are going to do over here is we are going to start with the contact page. Okay. So I'll head over to contact me activity. Contact me activity. This is the basic part. Then what we are going to do, we are going to head over to activity underscore contact me. Okay. So you can see that here we does not have any sort of difference or layout changes or anything like that. Okay. So what we are going to do inside this edit text, okay, we are going to be adding margin. So margin is there. So from margin, I'll click here. And inside this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be adding margin from the start. So margin start will be 16, margin end will be again 16. Okay. So this will be the basic margin over here. I hope my code is visible to you guys. Okay, Akash, yeah, sure. We will be doing Django one shot as well. Don't worry. If you really want to study Django, I'll be creating a one shot video where you will be getting an in-depth knowledge of Django as well. Okay. Uh, but maybe due to the sequence of videos, maybe that can take some time, about a week or maybe later. But yeah, I'll definitely be doing Django one shot if you really want to study. Okay. So we have added margin start and margin end. Okay, so it's like left and right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the margin from top. So from top, I'll be adding about 32 pixels. So 32 dp like that. So you can see that the margin has been added 32 dps. And after this, what we have nothing, just a hint full name and text person name, everything remains the same. That's it. Now, what is the second part? In this second part also, we will be just writing down the same sort of codes. Okay, yeah, the margin looks good. Right. Now, let's head over to this message part. Okay. So inside this message part, we need a little more, changes. So I'll be adding margin from top. Yeah, it looks good as of now. I'll be adding little more margin from top. So top, it will be about 26. Okay. And remaining will be the margin, bottom margin like that. So we will be just copy pasting that from here. Okay. So copy margin and yeah, I'll paste it right there. Okay. So you can see that we are getting sort of gap as well. and now it looks even more better. So let me just analyze it to 30. Now it looks good. Okay. So our this part has been properly aligned. Let me go check for the button as well. We have text messages, button. Yeah. Here we have the button. So for talking about the margin, we have given it from top. Let me give it about 28. Okay. And from the end, let's give it 16. And from the bottom also, we'll give it 16. Now we have given the end of parent. Okay. So this part looks good. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to be adding a little space. Okay. How exactly we are going to add a space is we are going to write space like that. And inside this, we will be providing a basic space. So firstly, let me give it an ID. So ID, I'll name it as ID slash space bottom. Okay. Space bottom like that. And then we are going to be providing the width. So width will be 35 dp and the height will be 90 dp. Okay, like that. Now, what I'm going to add constraint bottom to the bottom of, okay, bottom to the bottom of parent, like that. And what we are going to add top to the bottom of top to bottom of. This one will be named as, let me give it an ID. So at the rate ID. After this ID, what I'm going to write button start. Okay. Button submit. This particular button we have over here, right? So right after this button, it should be starting. Okay. And bottom to the bottom of parent. So we have parent. So as soon as the parent will land at that particular place, we have to end it. Okay. Now, after this, what I'm going to be providing, I'm going to be adding image view. Okay. Because obviously we will be adding image. So I'll write image view. Okay, so this will be our image view. And after the image view, we have to be firstly giving it an ID. So ID, I'll give it as at the rate ID slash social media, and then I'll name it as Facebook. So we will be giving it an ID like that. Then width will be 42 dps and the height will be about 42 dp as well. Okay. Then after this, what we are going to give, we are going to provide the margin. So margin from the top. So margin from the top will be about how much you can give, like about 52 dp something. Yeah, so 52 dps. And then what I'm going to add, I'm going to be adding the Facebook logos. So what you can do, either you guys can head over to browser and from there you can, download the logos. So what I can do, I'll be opening the browser, I'll write Facebook logo like that. I'll be adding Facebook logo, and after that we'll go to image, and inside image you can see we have more. Yeah, in this filter part we have type. So after this type we will be clicking transparent. So you will get a transparent image of Facebook logo. So you can download that from there and then you can use it. So I'll be adding that. So what you have to do, you have to head over to this app. Inside the app, we have res folder, then we have drawables. So inside this drawable, we will just paste it like that. I have already this Facebook logo image, so I'll be using that image. So I'll write src. Inside src, it will be drawable slash Facebook logo. Okay. So you can see that the Facebook logo is currently there because we have not done any alignments over here. So what I'm going to write, I'm going to write end to the start of what I'm going to write, top to the top to the top of the space bottom, okay, which we have just created, ID space bottom. Yeah, there you can see we have getting the ID. Okay, then what we have to add over here, we have to add one more thing, end to the start of. So end to the start of. Then you can add more, like currently we will be adding one more, like ID slash Twitter. So social media, then I'll be adding Twitter. If you want, like let's add Instagram. So, so yeah, this will be our Instagram. And let's do one thing. Let's just copy out this full image, view, and copy this out. And similarly, we are going to paste it over here. So instead of Facebook, I'll rename it to Instagram. Okay. And right after this Instagram, what I'm going to be adding, I'm going to do little modifications over here. End to the end to the end of parent. Okay, so parent. After this, what we are going to write, horizontal bias, flow first, not this one, layout. Inside the layout, we will be adding some horizontal bias. What it will do, it will align it. So layout, inside layout, we will be having horizontal bias. Okay, so let me do one thing. Firstly, we will remove this. So we will remove this line over here so that it should be aligned properly. Okay. Now, what we have to add a little horizontal bias. So, and let me add an app. Inside app, we have layout. Okay. And after this layout, we have constraint, eh, CARINT, constraint, then horizontal bias. Okay. This will be adding a horizontal bias of 0.498, like that. Okay. That's just a little bit, alignment change you can see we have got over here. After this, what we are going to do, we are going to similarly add one more image that will be our Instagram or maybe somewhere else. Okay, so let me just copy this out. Instead of this Facebook logo, I'll change it to this Insta logo, and similarly copy pasting. So Instagram will be now changed to LinkedIn, like that. So inside this, we will be doing little bit changes, and I'll add the image as LinkedIn. So LinkedIn logo. Okay, we have our LinkedIn logo also done. Then what I'm going to do in this, we are again going to do little modification. Okay, so start to the end of our logo. So which one is that? Instagram logo. So right, Instagram. Okay. So this will be our Instagram logo. And similarly, we have to do little changes. So from margin start, we have to do margin from starting for everyone. So margin start about 16 dps so that we will get, little gaps over here. So yeah, copy, paste, and again, yeah, paste. You can see that we are doing a gap. For Facebook, we have added, then for Instagram also we have added. Now what this error shows us, let me check. Space bottom is missing some constraint over here. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to firstly check what error it is throwing. Space bottom. Then we have to provide the social media. So I'll right click, content description will be provided. So extract string, let me do one thing. Instead of doing this, we will be providing our own constraint. Okay, so I'll just add description we want to add, right? So content description is Insta logo or LinkedIn. So linked LinkedIn, like that. I'll just add a basic LinkedIn logo description. LinkedIn. Okay. Okay. Hard coded text like that. LinkedIn logo. Then similarly, I'll add this is Instagram logos. Instagram logo. And one more logo we have over here, Facebook logo. Okay. So paste and I'll rename it to Facebook logo. Okay. So Facebook logo like that. So this will be our basic logos that we are adding. Okay. Social media is partially hidden in the layout. Yeah, I can see that. We are going to be aligning it properly just in a minute. Okay, so let me head over. So I'll just do what? I'll firstly extract string resource, okay, then extract string resource like that, and again one more extract string resource. Okay. So by this, what it will do, it will be extracting all the resources from the string that we have done. Okay. And now what I am going to do, we are going to do little alignment properly over here. So let me firstly check what we can do over here is we can change the alignment proper over here. So for this button, let me first start with our LinkedIn button. So inside this LinkedIn, we had this issue and of social media, Instagram, and up to the top of space bottom. So this one is fine. We will be just doing little changes over here. So what I'll do, end to the end of parent. Also start. Let me try start to the start of parent as well. Okay. So yeah, by this, what it will do, it will add the proper, gaps which you can see right here. Okay. So yeah, we are getting proper gaps. So edit text name and let me go here. So margin from start 16 dps. Margin from start 16 dps. Then why this margin is not getting implemented? Well, yeah, let me check. For our page, we will give margin end. Okay. So for Facebook, let me do one thing. Instead of adding margin from start, Facebook, where is Facebook? Yeah. Margin from start, instead of that, I'll add margin from end. Okay. So now you can see that we are even getting the proper alignment as well. Okay. So our page looks good now. Let me just do one thing. Let me add a little more gaps to this message part so that it will look more proper. Okay, so yeah, message. Inside this message, firstly, let me check where is the message. Yeah, here is the message. We will be adding margin start 16 dps. Margin end is also there. Then top is also there. Then what you can do, we can add some changes. Input type. So in input, Android, Android input type. Okay, so input type can be multi-line over there. So multi text multi-line. So, yeah, this will be our input line. And after this, we have already added this line over there. So let me just have a look. What sort of things we are missing? Minimum height is also there. So minimum height will be changed to 96 dps. Okay. So I'll add the 96 dps over here and let me minimize this screen that we have. Now it looks good, right? So we will do just what? Space bottom missing constraint. Okay, so now it looks good. Let me head over to emulator part and we'll head over to contact page and I'll just, reload, run the app once again to see whether things are going great or not. I hope all these things are clear to you guys. You know, these are just the basic changes that we are implementing, and as soon as it will be implemented, things will look good. Yeah. So you can see the contact me page looks good. Now we will be doing changes to our experience page. Fast page. Okay. So let's start with education for now. So let me head over here to our education page. We'll close all these activities. So this one is closed. So activity education. Yeah. So we will be just starting with the education part for now. Okay. So let me close this out. Education will open and let's get started. So for opening the education activity, what we are going to do, we are going to start with education activity.xml file. Okay. And firstly, what I'll be starting here is we are going to add a primary education in this case. So I'll add a comment that we are going to add a primary education. This is a multi-line comment that we are adding. Okay. So right after this, we are going to add a primary education. So we will be just creating a linear layout. Okay. And let me do one thing. Let me head over to design part. So inside this, we have layouts. So inside this, we will add a linear layout vertical. So linear layout vertical, we'll be adding it. Okay. Then after that, what we are going to add, we are going to add a basic title text view. Okay. So text view, we will add one, then two, I guess. Let me check. Yeah, around two text views are there, and we'll add more, three and four. Okay. So yeah, we will be adding about 4 or 5 text views. Let's get started with that. So we will be splitting it out, and now let's start coding. This is the linear layout over here, and inside this we are going to give it an ID. So ID will be primary education layout. So primary, sometimes naming an ID will help you out a lot. Why? Because what exactly happens is it will, enhance your way of coding the data. And when you want to check out what things you have implemented or what are the things which you have done, then it really helps you out. Okay. So what I'm going to add here, layout width is there. So instead of writing match parent, I'll write layout width to be 0 dps. Okay. And height will be fine. After this, what I'm going to add a margin. So margin will be from the top. Instead of match parent, I'll write wrap content. Okay. So height will be just wrapping out the content, and then we'll be adding a margin from the top. So how much top you want? So 20 dps will be fine. Okay. And then orientation is vertical because it has already been specified. Now, after this, what I'm going to be adding, layout end to the end of, okay, so end to the end of parent, like that. And then what we are going to write, start to the start of parent as well. So it will be fully taking the data. And what you have to specify, top to the top of, so top to the top of parent as well. So yeah, now you can see that we have already got some alignment proper and some things working good. Now inside this text, we are going to write primary small primary education. Okay, so primary education will look good. And right after this primary education, what we are going to do, we are going to write the width and the height as well. So height will be wrap content. After this, what I'll give a gravity. So gravity will be center so that our text will be properly aligned. Okay. Then padding will be about 8 dps. Then what I'm going to add text size. Text size will be about 18 sps. Okay, so quite bigger text size we have added. So let's give me a 20. Now inside this text view, we will be writing primary education, like that. So primary education looks good. Now, after this, what we are going to write, another text view. So it will be naming primary education title. So primary education title. What you can do over here is you can use different methods as well, as we used it in the string part, right? But what I really wanted was because we don't have much of a data for our education. So I thought instead of creating a proper list format which we did for this, let me show you, which we did for this string part over here, right? Layout, instead inside this layout we have activity skills. So recycler view we did, right? I thought of doing recycler view, but what was the issue, that in recycler view, if you will be adding it, the education does not have much data. You just have about 2 to 3 headings in education. That's why it's not worth it to add that much of code. So instead of adding that, what I just did, have just I'm just creating a basic code. Okay, so margin top, inside margin top it will be 8 dps, and after this 8 dps, the gravity will be again in the center. So center, and what you have, the text size, so text size will be about 17 sps. Okay, and you have the text style. So text style will be bold. Okay. So yeah, bold has been added. Now final thing is data. So I'll write on the public school. You can add your own school. So I'll be adding the school as well, whatever school you have joined or done. Okay. So similarly, we have created primary education school title. Okay. This is throwing us an error because we are using strings over here. If you want to rename it, you can just do one thing. You can write string, and inside this string you will get, your proper title, whatever titles you want to add and all that. So yeah, let me add the titles. So string we have slash and for the school. Now it will not give us an error. Okay. Similarly, I'll add the rate string. I have already added the string. That's why it's giving me the suggestion. But you have to add the strings by yourself inside this project and values. Then inside the values you have string part over here. So inside the string you have to add your own values. Then only you can get the proper data. Okay. So yeah, this is the value string and yeah, activity education. Now we'll close this and we will be working back to this code. Okay. Yes. So you can see that title has been aligned to the center. Primary education looks good, and also the part is done. Now we will be adding the location inside this another ID. So I'll be adding education, primary education location like that. So primary education location will be added over here. And inside this, we'll write match parent and wrap content. Gravity will be center, not this layout gravity, basic gravity. So gravity will be in the center. And right after this gravity, we are going to be adding the text. So I have already added the text. So string, Subalpur, Madhya Pradesh, like that. It has done. Then we have going to add text size. So text size will be about 14 SPs. And right after the stick size, let me make it a little bit bigger, 16 SPs. Okay. Then after this text size, what I'm going to add the text style. So text style will be bold. Okay. So this will be the basic text style and all the parts have been done. Now, what we are going to add, we are going to add the grades and all. Okay. So that will be a simple text view over here. So I'll write primary education grade. Okay. So it will be having our own grade. After this grade, we will add the gravity to the center. So gravity will will be gravity will be in the center part. Okay. And right after this, what you are going to add the text size. So text size will be about again something 14 SPs. Okay. Yeah, let's give it a 15 SP. And what will be the text view over here? We will give it a text view of grades. Okay, so at the rate strings, then you have 8.80 CGPAs like that. Add your own CGPAs. Please don't copy my data. Okay, so this is for the primary education, and there is one final thing that is left to be added. That is the year, education year, what sort of year we have done the education. So I'll be just copying this and pasting it out. And instead of adding grade, it will be adding year. Okay. Now this year part, after this year part, we have 2017, 2018. Okay. So here we have the basic data. Now you can see that alignment has been done. Let's do one thing. Let's give it a little bit margin. So margin from top will be about 4 dBs. Okay. Let's give it a 5 dBs proper. And we'll just copy paste it. Copy and we'll paste it here as well. This will give us the basic margin. Now, what we are going to do, this was the linear layout which we have created. Now we are going to be creating another layout. But before creating the layout, we are going to basically add a barrier. Barrier, why? Because we will be adding a gap. So I'll firstly add a title as secondary education. Okay. Then we are going to add a barrier. So this one. So if as soon as you will write B, you can see Android X dot constant layout dot widget dot barrier. Okay. Inside this barrier, we are going to be adding match parent, and the height will be also match parent as well. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it an ID as ID slash barrier. Okay. Now, after adding this ID slash barrier, we have to even provide the alignment. What exactly will be the alignment? So barrier always gone widgets, that will be true. Okay. And also there is one thing, barrier direction will be bottom. And there is one more thing that we have to add, absolute y, absolute y. This will give us, the width. So that will be about 20 dps of this particular barrier over here. Okay. Now we are going to add constant reference IDs. Okay. So we will be even providing it the reference ID. The reference ID will be primary education layout and also the secondary education layout, which we are just going to be providing it. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me create the layout for it. Okay, so the code for the layout will be exact same as this part. Okay, the layout which we have created over here, but the only difference will be we will be adding one more changes. So yeah, let me copy this out over here, and right after this we'll paste it. Okay. And what we are going to change in this secondary education, wrap content, same orientation, end to the end of parent, start to the start of parent, and top to the bottom of. So top to the bottom of primary education layout. Okay. So this will be the primary education layout that we are going to be adding over here. Okay. Now let me change it to secondary education. Okay. Now you can see that secondary education has been aligned, and also we are going to be providing secondary education layout like this. Now, after this, what we are going to be doing, we even need to add the ending codes of this layout. Okay. Let me add that for now. So I'll add in this part of line, we will be adding linear layout slash linear layout. Okay. So now this part looks good. Inside this, we are going to be adding all of our text views over here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just copy paste this old text layout. Okay. So we will be pasting all these text views over here, which is present, and I'll just copy it. And inside this layout, we will be pasting it. Okay. So now you can see that we are getting the basic layouts. So we will be immediately renaming it all. So secondary education. So, yeah, secondary education part will be done. So secondary education layout and secondary education, the name will be also changed. So yeah, now you can see that we are getting secondary education. Then title will be also changed over here. So instead of primary education title, I'll name it to secondary education title. Okay. And after this, the data will be also changed. Okay. So we will add Maharashtra and also the location. It will be of secondary education. Secondary education location. This will be same. Then we are going to be changing out our. So yeah, you can see this is the barrier which we are getting over here, right? Let me increase the size of the barrier so that you can see it properly. Okay. Yeah. This is the barrier which we have over here. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to be adding last grade. So this will be secondary education grade. And what will be the grades over here? So we'll name it to 8.85 like that. And there will be the last thing, that is year. Okay. So secondary education year, and this will be 2019, 2020. So 2019, 2020. So this is how our education part will look. Okay. That's just the layout. It is a very basic layout that I am writing out, to just match out the things. Let me just do one thing. Let me open emulator, and if I'll head back and if I'll just run the app once again, let it give it a second. Okay. You can see inside education, we are getting all of our primary education, secondary education like that. Everything looks proper. Okay. Now, in the experience part, we are quickly going to add the experience as well. So for adding experience, that will be also a little basics over here. Let me quickly head over to experience activity, and we'll close the education activity from here. Okay. So experience activity will be opened. Now, inside this experience activity, we will be heading over and doing some changes in the implementation over here. Okay. So activity experience. Yeah. So what we will be doing, we will be implementing a direct text view. Okay. So let me implement a direct text view over here. So I'll add text view. So text view similarly. Now after this text view, it will be having 0 dps as width, and what it will be having, it will be having a height of about the wrap content. Okay, so the wrap content, which will be wrapping out all of our content over here. Okay. Then what we are going to do, we are going to be providing the experience heading. So experience ID will be, let me add an ID. ID will be experience heading. So like that, we will be adding our ID. So this will be our ID. Now, what this text view will be having. Okay. Let me add some of the constraints inside the text view, which is very important. Okay. First of all is the gravity, which will be in the center. Then we have the padding, which we have 5 SPs in the padding part. Then you have the text. Okay. So inside the text, what we are going to add, we are going to add work experience. Okay. Then what we are going to do, one more thing, we are going to add color text color. So text color will be purple 500. Let me give it a purple 500, and text style will be bold. So text style bold, and text size will be 24 SPs. This looks good, and gravity is also centered. Now, what I'm going to do, we are going to be providing top to the top of that. What exactly it should start? Parent, then start to the start of parent as well. Here, and similarly end to the end of parent. Okay. So now you can see the work experience has been aligned in the center, and it looks proper now. Okay. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to be creating an individual pages for our each and every experience. So what I'll do, I'll right click to this layout, I'll add new. So layout resource file. Okay. And inside the layout resource file, what we are going to write, experience item, okay, experience item underscore GFG, like that. So we will be writing experience item GFG like that. So now we have created a new layout. Inside this layout, what we are going to do, we are going to be adding a basic part. Okay. So this looks good. Height will be wrap content. Okay. Inside this, what we are going to write, margin bottom. We will be adding a basic margin bottom that is 16 dps. Okay. Now, as soon as we have added the margin bottom 16 dps, what we are going to do, we are going to add more things, that is padding 16 dps. Okay, and then we are going to add parent also. What you can add inside, bottom to the bottom of parent. Okay, and similarly what I'm going to be adding, elevation. So elevation will be about 4 dps. Okay. And similarly, there is one more thing that we can add, context. So context will be dot experience activity. So this will be our context over here. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a text view. Okay. Actually, three basic text views. So what we will be adding, we will be adding a text view over here. So text view. Inside the text view, we have width. So width will be about 0 dps. Okay, and then we have the height. So inside this, height will be wrap content. ID will be text view company. Okay, so text view company, like that. We are going to add. Now, what we are going to add in the first part, we are going to write text. Text will be GeeksforGeeks, like that. Okay, so it will be having GeeksforGeeks. Then similarly, after this, we are going to add text size. Okay, so text size will be about 18 SPs. Then what you have text style will be bold. Okay. Then what we have start to the start of parent, then end to the, like, add top to the top of as well. So top to the top of parent as well. So parent. Then what we have end to the start of text view date. So we are going to now create text view date. Okay. Let's create that text view date over here. So we will be just creating a new text view. Inside this text view, what I'm going to write, I'm going to write wrap content and other wrap content as well. Okay. Now, what I'm going to be adding, I'm going to be adding ID. Inside the ID, it will be having text view date. So text view and date, like that. Now, what we will be adding, the dates which requires over here. So text, inside the text, we will add about August 2021 dash present. Okay, like that. So that is the text. It looks over here, it has already overlapped. So text size will be 16 SP, and you have end to the end of parent. Now you can see that it is looking good. Similarly, last line we will add top to the top of text view company. Okay. This is the basic text view that we have created. And then we have the last text view that will be having a title, like what exactly you have done. So text view, inside the text view, we have ID will be 0 dps and height will be wrap content. So wrap content, and after this wrap content, we will be adding a text. So text will be mentor. Similarly, we have the text size from here, copy it out, and you have to give the ID. So ID will be text view title. So text view title like that. So this will be our ID. And now we are going to add start to the start of. So where exactly it should start? It should start at where the text view company is there, and talk to the bottom of text view company. So now you can see that it has already reached some bottom place and it looks good. Okay. Now this is the basic alignment that we had done. Similarly, what we are going to do, we are going to create 3 more alignments. Okay. And we are going to rename each one individually. Okay. So this was for GFG. Then we are going to create one more layout. Okay, so not this file, I'll write layout resource file, and this will be experience item. Then inside GFG, I'll write so this will be another one, experience item, which we are going to be putting out. And what you can do, you can just create your own copy pasting, and the data will be done. So for GFG, we have already created. So I'll be doing what? I'll be just copy pasting out that code with little bit of changes. Okay. So yeah, I'll just copy this one out. Cool. So copy all. Then after this, we are going to be pasting it out. Okay. So now what we will do, instead of writing GHG over here, we'll write Cisco virtual internship. That will be basics part. Then what we have over here, we'll change the date as well. Okay. And what we have, one more thing over here, we will be writing intern as in instead of mentor, I'll write intern. So this is the part. Let me add a little margin as well. So margin from top, 5 rupees. Okay. So yeah, you have got some margin over here. We'll copy this margin and we'll add for this GFG as well. So yeah, this margin. Similarly, now it looks good, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to head over to this place back, and now we will be writing at include. Okay. So we will be writing include. What you have to include, you have to write the ID first of all. So ID will be include GFG. Then inside this, we will be writing the layout ID, which layout I'm talking about exactly. So experience item GFG. Okay. Then we are going to be writing layout width will be 0 dps. Then height will be wrap content. And what we are going to add, top to the bottom of experience heading. Then you have start to the start of experience handling. Similarly, there is one more thing that you have to add. Actually, here it will be parent. Okay, instead of experience handling, we'll write parent. Yep. And end to the end of parent as well. Now you can see that the alignment looks perfect. Okay. Similarly, by using the same set of IDs, we will be adding that particular Cisco one as well. So paste, instead of including GFG, include Cisco, then item Cisco, and here instead of top to the bottom of experience heading, we will write include GFG. Okay. Now it looks good. Right. And similarly, you can add one more workx or one more work experience. I'll be doing the same. Let me immediately copy this out and I'll add one more experience over here. So full stack. Okay. And full stack like that I'll add and top to the bottom of include Cisco like that. Okay. So let me immediately head over to that layout and we'll add one more experience item full stack. Okay. So this will be our experience item full stack. And similarly, what we are going to do, we are going to just paste all these lines. And inside this, we will be adding one more line. That is, text will be company. You can add any company. I'll add freelancing. Okay, as of now. And what you will do, you will add the date. So date will be Feb 2023 to May 2023. Okay, so that will be the date. And instead of writing intern, I'll write developer. Okay, so we will be writing developer, freelancing, full stack freelancing. Okay. Yeah, so this will be looking like that, full stack freelancing, developer and all. And as soon as you will write this, you can see that we are getting our experience properly. Okay. Now I'll just minimize it and I'll open the emulator. And in this case, we will be just applying changes and restarting the app. Yeah. So now you can see that we are getting full experience over here and skills part looks good. Education looks good. Okay. Experience already added and certification done as well. And you even have created a contact me page. Okay. So this is all the basics part which we have done. So we have successfully created a code from beginners till here. So yeah, this was the basics part. In the next video, we will be adding and optimizing the code a bit, and we will be learning little more concepts which will enhance your coding abilities in Kotlin. Okay. So I hope you have understood whatever we have learned so far. If you have any sort of doubts, then yeah, comment it down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you are liking this course, stick around for the upcoming videos where we will be creating a great music application where the app will be, from the layout till the music playing and all these things. We will be creating all that part. So yeah, stick till that part. I will see you in that video. Okay. Yeah. I will see you in that video where we will be creating and optimizing code, learning more things. Okay. So yeah, this was pretty much it for this video. I will catch you in the next one. Till then, see ya, have a great day.